Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing splendidly well and welcome back to the first predicted exercise / match preview of the season as Norwich City embark on life in the Championship. It's going to be a fascinating season. Please subscribe to Norwich City Central for match reviews, match previews, social media reactions and all the latest Norwich City news. There's going to be a lot of content coming your way this season, a lot of uploads. So yeah, this is the central place for all the Norwich City latest news, and probably the central place for puns as well. But no, please do consider subscribing. I do plan to have match day experiences, hopefully, when fans are allowed back in the stadium, and possibly live streams as well. So yeah, to stay up to date with Norwich City, do subscribe to Norwich City Central for all the latest in the world of Norwich City Football Club. Now that's out of the way, let's talk about this game. It's going to be an absolutely fascinating game. Norwich City start life in the Championship, coming up against a Huddersfield team who are transitioning and probably not in the best situation. So this is a really good opportunity for Norwich City to end their 12 consecutive losses, which is just terrible. I hate saying that record. And it's a good opportunity for Norwich City to get 3 points on the board and start life in the Championship again. In this video, I will be doing a match preview and briefly outlining what you can expect from both clubs, but this video is mainly going to be focusing on the predicted XI. And get your teams down below in the comment section right now. What team would you like to see Norwich City have against Huddersfield? Because I guarantee lots of Norwich City fans are going to be coming up with lots of different teams. It's the opening game of the season, the new season starts here, and goodness knows what Norwich City team are going to come out. I think there's over 30 first team players. It's going to be really interesting to see what team Daniel Farke picks. I'd love to hear and love to see your teams down below in the comment section. It's going to be really interesting. This is the team I think Daniel Farke will play and the team I'd like to see. So in goal, Tim Krul. Of course, Tim Krul has to start. Coming off the back of the Netherlands, was our player of the season, a fantastic goalkeeper. The back four for me is going to be Quintilla, Christoph Zimmermann, Ben Godfrey and Max Aarons. Starting with Max Aarons, was the young player of the season in the Championship. Let's hope Max Aarons stays at Norwich City Football Club. A fantastic player and someone who I'm sure is going to rip up the Championship again. The two centre-backs, Christoph Zimmermann and Ben Godfrey. Tim Klose will probably be injured for the game, and even so, I think Tim Klose is now our fifth choice centre-back. I think his best days are past him, and I wouldn't be against him moving back to Switzerland, which I think he wants to do, and go to Basel. And Grant Hanley is also out injured. So for me, Zimmermann and Godfrey are the two. Ben Gibson, I'm not entirely sure we match fit for the game as he hasn't had a pre-season, but Christoph Zimmermann and Ben Godfrey were instrumental in our Championship title-winning season, which was just absolutely wonderful, and I fully expect them to do well. And Jamal Lewis has now left to Newcastle. I did a video on that, kind of summing up the best memories of Jamal Lewis and how I think he'll do at Newcastle. And it was sad to see Jamal Lewis go. In terms of who will replace him, it's going to be absolutely fascinating. You've got Sam McCallum, who's another young fullback. I would not be surprised to see Daniel Farke pick Sam McCallum. I mean, Max Aarons was thrown in at the deep end against Ipswich, but Javi Quintilla comes in with lots of La Liga experience, and I think that's a really astute signing. So I think Quintilla will start. Two central defensive midfielders. I can say with quite. I think Daniel Farke will pick these two. I'm quite certain on it. Oliver Skipp and Kenny McLean. For me, we know Daniel Farke loves McLean. I mean, Kenny McLean made 37 out of 38 Premier League appearances, and he's a really good player in the Championship. I'm looking forward to see Kenny smashing it, and Oliver Skipp as well. We've got a few defensive midfield options in Teti, Jakob Sorensen, but Oliver Skipp, I think a lot of people are going to come out and keep saying Oliver Skipp could potentially be the future Spurs captain. But yeah, played for the England under-21s. Looks like he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and I fully expect him to play. This is where it gets interesting, and I guarantee you can make so many different combinations. Who will be the front three? Because I expect Daniel Farke to play the 4-2-3-1. Who will play in those attacking areas? We've got so many options. And the thing is as well, we don't know where these players play. Poeta, is he on the left? Is he on the right? Daniel Sinani, is he through the middle? Is he on the right? Josh Martin, what wing does he play? There's so many uncertainties in terms of what these players' best positions are. But for me, I think the front three will be Todd Cantwell, Kieran Dow, and Poeta. Very interesting front three. I'd love to hear your teams, as I said, that down below in the comment section. For me, on the left, Todd Cantwell, 6 Premier League goals, scored in the FA Cup as well. I'd like to see Todd stay. I think he might leave, and if the valuation's right, it's probably best. But I think Todd could really flourish now in the Championship. Through the middle, Kieran Dow. We were really poor against Luton, but Kieran Dow was a bright spark, and I expect him to have a really good season for Norwich City, maybe even a contender for Player of the Season. And on the right, Pochetta. I think Hernandez can play on the right. Sinani could potentially play on the right, but I think Pochetta's pace. I think he had a very good pre-season, and I think Daniel Farke could unleash him in the first game of the season. I think Hernandez could potentially come on the 60th minute for Cantwell. Like to see Sinani come on as well. But I think it will be those three. Up front, Timu Pukki, 11 Premier League goals. Look, Pukki still had a very good Premier League season. A lot of strikers. I mean, all the teams in the bottom 8, no one scored as many goals as Timu Pukki as a single player. Timu Pukki still had a very good season. And look, a lot of strikers sometimes have really good, a lot of teams sometimes have really good second strikers. We didn't have a good second choice striker, and so much pressure was put on Timu Pukki's shoulders. Now in the Championship, this is his bread and butter. He's going to deliver. So that is the team I think will play against Huddersfield. And I look at that team, it's really strong. Zimmerman and Godfrey at the back look really, really solid, I think. There's a good spine to the team now. I think Oliver Skipp and Kenny McLean are really athletic and their work rate will be second to none. They cover so much ground. I do worry, maybe is this team physical enough for the Championship? I still think set pieces could potentially be our weakness after so many seasons. I don't think we've still sorted that out, which is irritating. But I look at that team, it's got pace, it's got flair, and it's got goals, and that's what really excites me going into this Championship season. A quick summary in terms of the teams. We're coming up against Huddersfield. Huddersfield's manager is Carlos. I'm not going to say the surname because I'm going to butcher it. But he was the assistant manager of Leeds, and Huddersfield are going through a transition. The Cowley brothers did quite well, but they left, and there's going to be a complete new style at Huddersfield. And similar to Daniel Farke, I think it's going to take time for them to transition. They've got a couple of talented players. Alex Pritchard, the less said about him, the better. And some strikers like Grant and Mooney, but I do expect Grant and Mooney to leave, and a lot of people have tipped Huddersfield in the bottom 6, bottom 7, so it really is a good opportunity for Norwich City to get off to a winning start against a Huddersfield team full of transition, and it's definitely there for the taking. In terms of Norwich, had a really disappointing result against Luton, of course, but we did have a lot of players missing, and could be a blessing in disguise as well, because although we've got a very big squad, and although that sometimes big squad players could start to be upset in the dressing room if they're not given enough game time, despite this, look, I think the Luton game, but there's so many games in a season, so getting knocked out of the League Cup in the first round is definitely not the end of the world, and it means we can fully focus on the league, and it's going to be a congested fixture list anyway. Look, I spoke about it many times. The recruitment's been absolutely fantastic. No blame can be attached to Stuart Webber. This is now Daniel Farke and the players' time to get this right. I really don't like this idea of being the underdogs. We're one of the favourites, and I want to see us, have a real good attitude going into this season. None of this, we need a miracle to stay up. This is Norwich City. We've been backed, and I think we can do really, really well. So please do consider subscribing for Norwich City Central. The match review will come very soon. Really, really excited. Score prediction: Huddersfield 1, Norwich City 3. I think we're going to get off to a winning start, and that's just what Norwich City need. Goal scorers: Pukki to get his first goal, Kieran Dow to get a goal, and I think Kenny McLean will score as well. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your teams down below and your score predictions. And Norwich City, in a really good chance, really good opportunity to get promoted. Let's get off to a winning start in the first game in the season against a Huddersfield team who are in transition. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Norwich City Central if you're new, and I'll see you for the match review, where hopefully we'll be talking about a Norwich City win. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.